Alrighty, gang, this is our final video for today, and we're talking about Detroit on the upswing. I don't know if any of you have been to the Motor City, but I've had this intimate relationship with the Motor City for years. I mean, passed through going to Canada for motivational seminars, assisting the seminar president here, and then just recently at this seminar, attending it as a participant and just catching up. And then hanging out at the hostel and seeing the sights. What are your impressions of the Motor City? And if you don't mind, I would like to show everybody what it is like. This is Detroit back there. That's one side of Detroit. There we go. So can you go ahead and tell everyone what your thoughts are on Detroit? I mean, what do most people think of when they think of Detroit? And you said in Belgium you thought there were some particular viewpoints. And let's just have a conversation because I'm very impressed by the city.
Yeah, I think mainly it's because of the media and the distorted information that everybody thinks it's only a dangerous city, but it's so much more than that. The way they describe themselves is like the city might be broke, but it isn't broken.
Who said that? That's a good...
I don't know who said it, but it's like a thing that you hear quite a lot from people who are actually from Detroit, that alright, the city's broke, but it's not broken. So there's still hope. As long as we believe, we can still do something and change things around, and that's the main part. There's so much history here, you know? Not only in terms of music, but also Miss Rosa Parks, for instance, and all the African American struggles who took place here. It's quite an historical city, so
it's pretty amazing. And tomorrow we may go to the Henry Ford Museum and then also the Motown Museum.
Yeah, definitely hit the Motown Museum.
And the Henry Ford Museum, I'd already been to. It's amazing. You should check it out. They actually had Rosa Parks bus there. They still do, but at the time they just acquired it and repainted it. $450,000 for that bus. Now talk about expensive bus, but that's a piece of history. But anyway,
you can't put a price on this.
I know what I'm saying. It was in operation until 1970. But what I like about Detroit, and this is showing what I saw in Cincinnati and other cities around the U.S. and other places, is that there are people that are believing in the city and wanting it to come up.
They're proud to be from Detroit.
Yeah.
You can see it all around.
Where's your shirt? Do you want to show everyone your shirt?
Not really.
No? Do you want to show him Detroit shirt? Go ahead. Show. He's going to show you his Detroit shirt. You got to see this. He picked it up from a shirt store. Obviously, right? Didn't come by mail. Here we go. Yes, and I got the sticker too. They gave me that at the shirt shop. Okay, so Detroit, what is it? Detroit hustles harder. Let's give him a round of applause. And there's also the D, right? Is that the Detroit Pistons? Where is it?
Yeah, it's the capital D that stands for Detroit. So you see it on baseball caps all of the time and on sweatshirts. So.
Well, what about Dayton, Ohio? Why can't they use the D? I'm just.
You should ask Ohio.
I don't know. We'll find out, but or Denver or some other place, or DeKalb. But it's interesting because what we noticed is there is the depressed area. Like there are areas where they're abandoned. We actually took photos of places that are burned down, glass broken. I mean, there's sections upon sections. I read one article that said there was one person living in 77 blocks and paying taxes, and no one else was because it was abandoned. And that's the impression, you know. And I am guilty of this. I saw the movie Brick Mansions, and I liked that movie, and I saw it because of the late Paul Walker. I wanted, to commemorate him by watching it. And what I'm realizing, and then I saw RoboCops 1, 2, and 3, and I'm seeing all these stereotypical images of Detroit that you have to get a cyber cop in there, that it's so dangerous. And I really think that it's a city on the upswing. Like you said, and we're talking about this, we went on a tour today. And do you want to tell them about the tour, what was amazing about this tour?
Yeah, just different places and the different initiatives to breathe life back into the city, like the urban farms that they got going on. That's like a cool thing to support local businesses, and it's all on a volunteer basis, so people get involved if they want to get involved, and they give as much as they want to give. So,
and besides the gunshots and screaming, I think there's a lot that was fine. I mean, right? I mean, I didn't have problems sleeping, did you?
No,
it was totally fine. I mean, it's not a problem at all. Some people are concerned more about the safety factor, but
yeah, you definitely need to watch your back, but it's all the way you approach approach it. When you're constantly walking around paranoid, it's quite easier to get robbed. Like when you're confident and smile to other people that you walk by, then you're open about it and you want to talk to them, and then they'll respond to you in a different way than when you're all introvert and paranoid and oh, what's gonna happen. That's a different approach. So I think that if you step to them the right way, and Detroit is an honest city, you know. So if you step to them the right way and be who you are instead of pretending, there's not a lot that.
People are amazing.
Yeah.
People are incredible, right? And then we went to the clubs. Like there was the one Floods that was amazing. That soul R&B club. People were very down
Lots
to earth.
of live music.
Did you see how they treated us? Like just coming in, we're coming in from other places, not even from Detroit, and they treated us really well.
Yeah, sure.
Gave us, and then you even said the bartender was very nice. And I mean, it's just incredible. In other words, what I get from Detroit is that it's a very welcoming city.
Yeah, definitely. I've got that vibe as well.
And it's a lot of fun. What's interesting is the more and more I stay here, the more and more I actually want to come back and explore it more. I mean, I'm revisiting the museum tomorrow, and then we're going to go to the Motown Museum. It's more that Motown's big.
Yeah, Motown's really big, especially because
Very big.
It's one of the most significant labels in terms of they actually gave credits to African Americans for the work they did. Like when you go back to the beginning of blues and jazz, a lot of Caucasian white people claimed black records as their own. So they recorded everything with African Americans, but didn't give them credit. They just put their face on the cover and claimed all the music. And Motown was different in that way because they gave credit where credit was due.
And we're all from Africa, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
I did the DNA.
The motherland. So.
Yeah. Very good. It is. I have the DNA trace. I mean, I know the point of origin right there. So I found it. But so listen, it's really interesting because I completely agree with you. But what sorts of touristy things do you think that the students or whoever's watching this might be interested in? Detroit's on the upswing, right? Remember, we even talked to somebody who'd been here over a 10 to 15 year period. He said that there's some growth. He said before that most people went to Greektown.
Yeah.
And around the Greektown area, and that's what the tour guide said, right?
Yeah.
But what's happening now to where people are going?
Oh, I think
Where's the map?
I think that when you look at Detroit, you need to look beyond what's on the surface. Because when you only look at the surface, you see a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of crappy houses, a lot of poverty. But behind those closed doors are working people, working artists, athletes, people who got careers going on or a job going on. So everybody has their own story to tell, and you just need to listen.
You know, another thing that what was interesting is how they were telling us. We ran into different people saying that the suburbs are mostly white, and that the inner city is mostly African American. What they don't emphasize is that it's kind of diverse in the suburbs too, and so it's not that everybody's only exclusively in one area, but that we did hear that it is segregated. But what we saw was pretty amazing. They are doing some intentional organic farming, and they're trying to use the land and make a difference. And
repurpose a lot of it. So
and where they're coming from? They're coming from the suburbs. So they're helping to make a difference. So there was this idea that people think that people are living cushy lives in the suburbs, which they are. But a lot of I've noticed that a lot of the younger demographic, especially, I see it in Cincinnati too. There's this revival. So again, they along with the intentional gardening and farming, they also have like our version from Cincinnati of Findlay Market. They had what was the name of the market? It was amazing.
The Eastern Farmers Market. I think it was that one.
What did you see?
Oh, we saw a lot there. It's like fresh fruits, vegetables, flowers, just about anything you need to cook a delicious meal. So
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Also products from different areas. I saw even some products from France there. So it was pretty cool.
And what I liked is I see so many elements that are similar to Cincinnati. It's very, very similar. It's like a very traditional kind of, commonplace American city, except that it's a huge American city. That it's like a staple along the lines of Chicago, New York, and LA. Also, what was amazing is we went to Detroit Beach. I had absolutely no clue there was actually a beach. I mean, I know there was waterfront, but I didn't know that there was a beach. And there's actually an island that you can go
Yeah,
to.
with
What
an
was it called?
amazing view of
Belle
the skyline.
Bell Island?
Yeah, Belle Isle.
Gorgeous view, wasn't it?
Yeah,
People were very
definitely.
friendly. We
Yeah,
went up,
sure.
pulled up, went to the beach. There was a whole group of us, and the locals were welcoming us. Welcome, they could tell that
Yeah.
we were just visiting. It was kind of neat.
Yeah, sure. It was really cool to be there.
So, what other things do you think that they should keep in mind? Because there's also some. What was the thing that they called not the Granville? What was it? The something he mentioned to check out. What about the mansions, the historic mansions that we saw?
Oh yeah, it looked like we stepped back into the 50s at some point. The houses were really cool in that old style, that old building style.
I think in Cincinnati, a lot of them are like in, for example, North Avondale. I've seen some homes, which is an area in Cincinnati. I've seen some places like this, kind of in Hyde Park or Indian Hill. They had their version of these kinds of grand places, and then that's right. He said there was a website called Old Detroit, the tour guide.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
It's a website that shows people what Detroit looked like back in the day. So they have like these old pictures of the original buildings, and then you can compare them to the pictures of the buildings now and learn a little about the history of the buildings, who built it, why they built it. So it's actually a pretty cool site.
And he said also that people could earn more off the property and get a better bang for their buck. He said 4 years ago, more along the lines of 4 years ago from today, than now. He said you can still get good deals, but now you're moving out farther to get those good deals or better deals. So it was interesting. He also said that more speculators are buying property. He said that a buddy of his, the tour guide, said that $120,000 condo he got for $20,000. So the thing I've noticed is that if you're willing to go wholeheartedly into Detroit and make this a way of life, you could have a heck of a life in terms of it is growing, it is expanding, it is prosperous, and you can buy your home and not have to worry about the huge kind of mortgage. In fact,
I think the main thing is like you need to come down and see for yourself. Don't believe everything you hear in the media, because the media tends to distort a lot. So if you want to know what Detroit is about, just come down to Detroit and look for yourself and decide for yourself. So,
well, there's something we also have to play for you. We went to a very famous street. All right, and so as we went on the street, we played it. And can we play it a little bit for them? All right, here we go. Put your hands up.
Did you capture? Just let it slip. Yo.
Try it.
His palms are sweaty.
Go ahead.
His weak arms are heavy. There's
Come on,
vomit on
Dan.
his sweater
Dan, come on,
already.
go ahead.
Mom's spaghetti.
And by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
I
yeah.
recorded. You know that I recorded for one of Eminem's
But
producers.
he keeps on forgetting
And
when he broke down. The whole
for 2
crowd
hours, I got
goes so
50
loud,
bucks. I'm
he
excited.
opens
A
his
guy
mouth,
named by
but
the
the
name of
words
Chip
won't
outside of
come out.
Chicago.
He's choking
And I
now.
did hear some
Everybody's choking
songs
now. The
that
clock's
I
run
could.
out.
There were some
Time's up.
trace
Over
elements I was like,
cloud. Snap
I wonder if
back
that's
to
from
reality.
the tape
There
that I
goes
recorded.
gravity.
Listen.
There goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up.
Come on.
Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole.
That's basically, we went to 8 Mile. We went to 8 Mile and we're looking for Eminem's house. Couldn't find it. They said he moved, didn't he?
Yeah,
Where did he
probably
go?
he lived in a trailer park for a long time. So.
I didn't see any trailer parks there.
No, but 8 Mile is just a road, so there's not that much to see. Just the 8 Mile road. So.
They could make it a tourist attraction if they could find out where he used to live.
Yeah, they could, but.
Okay, they don't care that we're trying to figure this out now. All right, guys, so that's a little bit on Detroit. We didn't really tell them too much, did we?
No,
Well,
but that's okay. Remember to come down, see for yourself, and then decide.
absolutely. Have a great day, guys.